The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
The views and opinions expressed by the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, are of my own and no one else, nor do they reflect Beyond Ringside. So, ladies and gentlemen, due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Wednesday night, the To Be Determined Show live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com. Being, of course, live from Xanadu right here. Thank you to PCSS for being our sponsor this evening for the Beyond Ringside Radio Network's own The To Be Determined Show. I am the Oracle of Ominous, the architect of intellect, the Wicked Nemesis. Joining me tonight, joining me, and the Barbarian, I guess. Joining me this evening is the host of Beyond Ringside and my producer extraordinaire, the former commissioner of GCW, the mouth of magic. Magic City Mike. Or what is it?
Magic City Motor Mouth.
Magic Mike. No, Magic City Motor Mouth Mike. Fast Eddie Layne. Eddie, how you doing this evening?
I'm beginning to wonder if you and Smark Rage are in cahoots on how many different ways that line can be butchered.
Dude, we have been working nonstop. Shut your mouth.
Hoping you're having a good night. It's fun over here.
Oh, yes, sir. No, I'm sure it is fun, but you know what isn't fun?
What's not fun?
Having someone that comes and decides to troll but can't troll. This is just a tip before we get the show started. If you're going to troll correctly. Friends don't let friends bad troll. Whenever I see stuff going back and forth on social media, it's always fun when people can't take a joke. It's always fun whenever someone goes too far and buries themselves. We've been talking about regularly Trash Bag Wrestlers, the Facebook fan page, very funny page. And when people go on there and do not take the opportunity to put themselves over and to promote themselves, I always see it as a travesty to the nth degree. But when you bury yourself totally, it's amazing. It's like a work of art. It's a train wreck. It's amazing. It's an aardvark. And I just rhymed. Drop the mic and walk off. A big shout out to Eminem, supposedly taking the place of Eazy-E on the NWA reunion tour. But tonight, our guest is the referee extraordinaire himself. That's twice in one show I've already used extraordinaire. A second-generation referee. A man that literally the business is in his DNA. GCW and the Dirty South's own Jeff McGowan. We're going to talk to him about his comeback from his injury. Last time we talked to Jeff, he was going through rehab after major knee surgery, a freak knee injury in the ring, or took place getting out of the ring, actually, at GCW. So we're going to talk to him about why it took him so long to come back. He's very open and honest about that. So you get to hear his story. And also, what it's like to be able to control a match as a referee and actually bring something to a match. There's very few referees out there that can do that, and he's one of the best. So we're going to talk to him about that. And I promise you one thing, he has some great road stories. Eddie, how has your week been so far?
So far, so good. Coming off some really good nights. Last Friday at B-Dubs, last Saturday night at Jake's. Of course, a lot of fun. The Battleground pay-per-view, I keep seeing different reactions from different people. And you have to remember, Battleground was technically a second-tier pay-per-view to begin with. It will not be mentioned in the same breath as Mania, Rumble, Survivor Series, or SummerSlam.
What accent was that?
Which one?
Not.
I'm not.
Like, actually.
It's Dominolish. You caught me in mid-chew. But go figure this one out, however. You had the return of The Undertaker at a second-tier pay-per-view, which, look, I've got to say this. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. This is why I don't troll the dirt sheets. I don't read them. I really don't. Ooh, man, somebody said Undertaker was spotted at the venue tonight. Ooh, somebody said Sting was spotted at the venue tonight. So what? Can people not let stuff go? This is the part that's killing me about some of this. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the phrase the way it should be used originally from back in the day. This is how some of you dumbass marks make that word look bad.
Ooh.
A mark is a beautiful thing. And sure, Mabo, you're beautiful too.
Well,
but by the same
shots at Mabo, one little line. I can't believe you did that.
Say what?
So that was 2 shots at Mabo in one line. I can't believe you did that.
No, that was 2 references, not shots.
Well, but I don't read the dirt sheets. After all, and I've said this before, in 2008, it was ruined by a certain website that Murder One was seen at GCW in Phoenix City, and this was whenever there was still ex-WCW and WWE talent coming through there regularly, and also because of Macon, and they revealed that Murder One was there, and they even put it out there that maybe he was going to be the next Merchant of Death. I was like, well, there it goes. So I don't know who reads it. I know a lot of people do read it. I'm not one of those people. So
I don't read spoilers. I don't care about them. I mean, I was having a conversation earlier today with a good friend of mine who's also my GM at work, and he was telling me about a movie, and it was a movie that's not necessarily one that I would rush out to see, regardless of what anybody says, because it just didn't appeal to me in the previews. And he said, well, I don't want to spoil it. I said, just tell me about it. If I want to see it, I'm going to see it. If I don't want to see it, I'm not going to see it. But yet, people just can't let that go when it comes to everything else going on. Now, I understand that everybody wants to be that red carpet reporter for the most part that gets the scoop on everybody, and I understand that. But there comes a point in time because everybody can't let go at face value. They always have to read something into it. Quit. Stop. Halt. Cease. Desist. Whoa. Niet. Nada. Eh-eh. Any other languages you'd like me to say that in?
I think you pretty much covered all of them.
It just burns my butt. I mean, it's like I said, you've got all the different, whether it be Lords of Pain or Torch or whatever, Wrestling Inc. or Gerwick.net. How the hell is that? Actually, that's really the name of the site. Steve Gerwick is the guy who runs it. Hey, I'm going to copy and paste every article I see from every other website, and I'm going to update on Facebook once an hour that it's an exclusive. Yeah, sure. Okay. Kill your pop-ups, you dork, and maybe I'll start talking about your site in a positive way again. If I go to a wrestling website and have to fight 3 pop-ups, I will never go back.
It's a wrestling website. Of course, you're going to have to wrestle something.
Okay.
Wrestle with those ads, motherfucker.
Yeah, sure.
That's how they get you.
It just totally. Well, see, you can run ads on there all day long, and I will tell you this: if there comes a point in time where I want to run ads on Beyond Ringside, they are going to be placed in the right place. They're going to be done in the right way. I will not tolerate pop-ups of any kind.
PCSS computer. It was funny. Sorry. I had a little Wayne's World moment there for a second. I'm sure the millennials don't get that joke.
Nope.
But Generation X gets that joke. I have had a pretty week, but I want to talk about something. I want to talk about sex, baby. I want to talk about you and me. Want to talk about all the good things.
Am I going to have to break out the damn MP3s tonight?
The what?
Am I going to have to break out the music tonight?
No, because you've worked so hard on the YouTube slideshows, and the last thing we need is for YouTube to just block it in every country, especially Germany. Germany's always the first to go.
To everybody listening in Germany right here, right now, please tell your government to quit being a bitch.
No, because, I mean, they're actually in the right. I think that sampling's one thing. They go overboard. As soon as they hear any trace of it, they pick up on it, and I have a problem with that. I think you should be able to play maybe like 30 seconds. And even if it provides a link, which some of my videos do, they're not blocked, but they do show up ways to buy them through MP3s. I'm fine with that. But don't completely block a video just because there's 20 seconds of something. Or if the sound system is so shitty at UIW that it's... Oh, you hear, oh, there it is. It's flagged.
Yeah, you think you're playing More Human Than Human by White Zombie, and it comes out sounding like I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys, huh?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
I've never been there. I don't know. I mean, it's like there's another promotion in Georgia that I go to every once in a while, and there are times, huh? No, yeah, don't say name. Don't say name. Don't say name.
Oh, whoops.
Don't wait. Don't say my name. Say my name. Okay. It's bad that I actually used a Destiny's Child reference.
We should do an entire show where we use nothing but music references.
Oh, absolutely.
That means when we get ready to go.
Well, again for this, I'm just going to tell you.
When we get ready to go to break, I will play that funky music, white boy.
But go ahead, sir.
Okay. And there are times when their sound system, I mean, I wonder if it's a Georgia thing or not. I don't know. Look, everybody knows that I run the audio for Global in Pell City and wherever else Global Championship Wrestling goes for now. And the fact of the matter stands, I am very meticulous. I'm an anal retentive SOB when it comes to the quality of my sound system. If something doesn't sound right, it's not my fault. It's because I was given unless I have to get a piece of music from somebody else, then it's not my doing, but I can only do everything I can do the best way I can do it.
Well, you always get Wicked's music right, so, I mean, you're way ahead of the curve there.
And there you hear it. Angie Nemesis has joined us.
Sorry.
Who actually you did not introduce at the top of the show.
Because she wasn't sitting here beside me. She just walked up. Ladies and gentlemen, my much better half and co-host, Angie Nemesis. Angie, how you doing?
Wonderful, thank you.
Everybody's going to be confused. They're like, is her name Angie Travis or Angie Nemesis? Depends on what the fuck I feel like calling her.
There you go.
And if I want to accept your Facebook friend request.
That's right. Yatch. Anyway,
Yatch.
sorry about that. There comes a point in time, though, to where you have to be able to push back just a little bit. And to be able to push back just a little bit, you have to have something like you were discussing. The Undertaker showing up on what you call a quote-unquote second-tier pay-per-view. I think it's great, also because Brock Lesnar was there. Seth Rollins was there. They've gotten pretty good about using some of the talent so sparingly. And that's always good when you can use that, especially when you can use Brock Lesnar as an attraction, which he is. You hear that snorting? That was Angie. So over here laughing. She hates Brock. and I think he could possibly be one of, if not the greatest wrestler of our time, had he not decided to go play football.
And be a sellout.
And lose 5, what did he lose, 150 pounds when he got sick?
You can go back and forth from
Diverticulitis.
Sellout.
How much did he lose, Eddie?
Oh, Lord, well over 100 pounds. Diverticulitis kicked his ass.
Yeah, so there you go. We're going to talk to Jeff about several things, as I said, but Eddie, I want to talk to you about something.
Mm-hmm.
Ring of Honor.
Yes.
You watch Ring of Honor quite frequently.
Yes, it's almost appointment TV like Lucha Underground is.
As does Mabo.
This past Saturday, was there a compilation?
Yes, it was their 200th episode, and they were running a lot of clips.
Okay, so where to begin?
That was not their typical Ring of Honor show. Their typical...
I saw a lot of spots.
How about you?
AKA spot monkey shit.
And there were a lot of good workers there.
Absolutely.
I want to know the appeal of hitting 5 or 6 finishers, not even going for a cover. And I mean, I believe it was who the people that wore the red Wicked Nemesis mask. It's Christopher Daniels and
Knights of the Rising Dawn.
The Addiction, is that what they're called?
Yeah, the Knights of the Rising Dawn. Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, and Chris Sabin.
Yes.
And I would just like to make note, Wicked Nemesis dropped the F-bomb in front of my father at that point.
We went to go see Jennifer in the hospital. Jennifer is back in the hospital and pretty much fighting for her life. And I'm over there consoling her, and wrestling comes on. She's like, "Oh, we're watching wrestling." So I see this.
She's like, "Catch me up! What's going on?"
It was the Addiction, I guess is what they were called.
Yes. Well, they still are. Kazarian and Daniels are the Addiction. But
yes, it's Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
And Kazarian.
And Kazarian.
Okay. And the name of there is the House of the Rising Sun.
Knights of the Rising Dawn, KRD.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought that was.
Or Knights of the Red Dawn, something like that. It's one of the two.
And then, bam, out of nowhere, who joins there? Chris Sabin.
Right. That's what puts together the KRD factor.
And then they all put on those red masks.
Well, it could be worse. They could have used a bunch of Guy Fawkes masks. Then Anonymous would be pissed.
That's true.
I think that's...
Yeah, but I don't have to live with Anonymous. Just saying.
Nelly, didn't think of that till just now. Thank you. Now,
so fuck all that.
Let me break this down in this from my perspective. You're speaking to you're asking the opinion of someone who can't stand the fact that a DDT is being used as a setup move and not a finisher. I don't care who you are, unless it's a midget doing it to the Big Show, DDTing that is, a DDT should be a finisher. John,
amen. And that's what we saw, right?
Yes, I don't agree with the DDT double down. Second of all,
now it depends on if you're using the DDT as a double down, that's an entirely different animal depending on what moves preceded it. If it was that one desperation move that you catch at the last second, I can see it as a double down. But at the end of the match, when you've got high speed going between on the comeback and on the last push, no, DDT should not be a setup move. It should not be kicked out of. That's just me though. If
you ever hit your head, or you ever hit that little button on the top of your cap?
Yeah.
That hurt, right? It hurts real bad.
But see, when you're setting up for a double down with a DDT, it depends. If you don't, you have to hit that to where it doesn't look like you get it all. If you only catch a glance, then you can use it for the double down roll out. Roll away from the side and take the 9.
Use a neck breaker. I don't think a DDT should be a double down at all, anytime. I believe there's no reason for it. Because if you've ever hit that little button on the top of one of those fucking hats, that motherfucker will drop you to your knees. So fucking think about what a DDT is supposed to be. Not what it is, but what it's supposed to symbolize. You're done. You're done. Don't give me a fuck, shit, goddamn motherfucker. You're done.
He's going to run the whole Carlin gauntlet. Hell yeah.
Did we mention
Pussy fart.
Oh, come on.
Advisory.
Okay, now you're going into Smart Rage territory.
Creepy guy.
That's twice he's compared me to Corey.
Really? What was the
The
first
YouTuber
time?
show. Good night, everybody.
No, he's copycat. Really. Hey, look, he ribs everybody's gimmicks just like other people we know.
I don't know. Corey's a piece of shit, so I don't listen to their show, unfortunately.
And of course, he still
Yeah.
thinks you should be nominated for the Valet of the Year award.
Well, I know. You know, it says that. But
Yes.
you saw the tag team match. There were several matches in there. The final being ODB and the Briscoes.
Versus
And-
the House of Truth with Truth Martini.
Yeah. What
With
did you say?
Yeah, I didn't see that particular match actually because I think that was a first run match and I didn't get a chance to watch all of ROH this week. I was actually very busy watching Paragon and catching back up on Lucha. And oh, Nelly. If you see who just called in, you mean to do the honors?
Is it me? Am I live? Oh my god, I actually made it on the air?
Yes.
Ladies,
as usual, I'm driving home from work. It's Wednesday evening, so of course on my phone it's John Ringside. So what do I hear but Wicked Nemesis being compared to Gary? How does that happen?
actually, Stan, we can barely hear you. If you're on speakerphone, please come off of it.
Okay, let me go ahead. Sorry.
Ladies,
Okay, sorry about that.
ladies and gentlemen,
Grubby.
ladies and gentlemen, one of the co-hosts of Wrestle Rage Radio with Smart Rage and Stan.
He is the host. Let's
Okay.
get that right.
That's right.
He is
The
the
voice of reason.
he's the sane
Yeah, they
one.
do save the main event for last on the card. That's how my name shows up on the moniker, so I can't necessarily disagree.
I think I'm the one who said that too.
You may have said that once before. I don't know. So
No,
how
go
does
ahead,
Wicked
sir.
rate as being compared to Corey? I don't understand how this happened.
Okay,
Exactly.
at the open of the show, Wick pulled a Corey and mutilated my nickname. Just like Corey does every damn week.
Oh.
To do his own thing. He does have a feed to.
You're breaking up, dude. Yep, we lost him.
Yep. As anybody that has ever listened to the show even for a few weeks, I like to have a good time while the show's going on. Tonight's show has been brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade, Pink Lemonade, Blackberry.
And all those amazing new flavors.
Yes. So
Blood, mandarin blood orange.
listen, I've listened to several podcasts with Steve Austin where Steve Austin has been shit-faced. They have been
Like
amazing.
testosterone.
And they have been amazing. And I've listened to shitty podcasts where people have been messed up. And one of the worst interviews I've ever heard in my entire life, unfortunately, happened with Spark Rage and Grubby, but that's for another time. And they pulled through that.
That's right.
And nobody's ever had Robert Gibson hang up on them in the middle of an interview, I think, besides
That's
me.
right.
So
And then, poor Cos, I still feel bad
Oh,
for him.
Cos.
He was shaking in his boots.
yeah,
So.
No,
who
but
realized that Kaz was gonna be such a pussy? Grubby, we have you back.
I'm sure.
Yeah, sorry about that. The wonderful glass enclosed nerve center of AT&T cell phone.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be on there with such fine comrades as yourselves.
But sir, you were saying about Corey being an asshole.
An idiot.
No, let's not go too far. All right, well, maybe I'll agree on that.
Use that language, baby.
I'm sorry, you're right.
You know, he's a unique individual. He has his ups and downs, just like anybody else. I think sometimes he speaks a little bit more than he should, but we all do that sometimes.
But I want to ask you about the pay-per-view for anybody that missed your show this past Sunday. Were you able to be on it this week?
I was. As topsy-turvy and upside down as life is for me right now, I was able to actually make a show. So.
Oh, we completely
Good.
understand. This is 3 weeks in a row after going.
For 3 weeks in a row without a show.
Yeah, but I went 5 years without missing a show.
That's right.
And did like 14 shows in 1 week, as you both know very well.
Yep.
Well, like I said, you are much needed. You are the voice of reason for your
You
show.
know what?
So, I know
Folks, I
that-
love you, but I do have a call I have to take here. I'm sorry. I've got to go.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Good night.
So, I was going to ask Grubby about what his thought of Battleground was. Your thought, Eddie, what was your rating for Battleground?
I gave it a B minus, all in all. There were a couple. Now, the Cena Owens match, excellent, well done. The Lesnar Rollins match was what I expected, all the way up until the time that the attempt at the pin and then the bell hits, which I was perfectly okay with. Look, I like the way they're setting up, that they immediately just lurched right into a setup for Lesnar and Taker for SummerSlam. I almost said Summerfest just for Mike Adamle. The Divas Triple Threat match wasn't horrible. Charlotte and Sasha Banks were excellent as always. The weak spot in that match was Brie Bella. But I've got to say this. If you get a chance to watch Raw from Monday night,
We saw that match.
Brie actually stepped it up. That is the best that I've seen Brie. Now, that's not saying much, but that's actually the best I've ever seen Brie Bella work, was Monday night on Raw.
Well, there were
They
two
probably
spots in
told her
there.
ass. They
There were two
probably
spots
said-
in there where she telegraphed Charlotte's moves, and the camera happened to catch right on it, where you're just like, oh shit, you know. But Charlotte, her figure 8, I really like that.
Oh, yeah.
She has
That's,
a figure 4 where she stands up with a bridge
That's amazing. She's got the length
on her
and
tiptoes.
the-
Oh, I know. She's like
and
42
the-
tall. 42 foot tall.
Absolutely, and the build, and she's the Nature Boy's daughter, for Christ's sake.
I guess I'd make her
And
a
she's-
nature girl.
That's right.
and if you've ever noticed, she gets into that figure 4 twice as fast as Rick ever did in his prime.
Oh, absolutely. She is a
Well, here's the
fine
thing.
specimen and athlete.
Here's the thing. She's really quick putting on the figure 4. Her thing is the bridge.
Yep.
She was kind of awkward whenever she hit it on Brie Monday night. That's the only one that I saw.
That's because Brie.
No, she couldn't get her hand. She got her, I want to say her left hand. She ended up having to turn it. Just go back and watch it. I mean, just little things like that. But she's so fluid with the figure 4. Obviously, she's been doing it her entire life and learned from the
She
man.
probably had to.
I know,
He
probably.
probably timed her. He probably taught him to mom.
So, man, that can be it already looks awesome, but it could be a complete work of art.
Yes.
So I really hope that is pushed to the limit. Take it to the limit one more time.
Yes. We're not doing that show yet.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Remember Johnny Five?
She's definitely a female to watch. I'm very proud of her.
But Eddie, your thoughts? I'm sorry, sir. You said the Divas, the triple threat. Sasha Banks is really good too, but
Yes.
Charlotte's really
Yes.
good.
The R-Truth King Barrett match on pre-show was actually pretty good in my book. Barrett and Truth work well together, and I'm glad to, even though I'm sad to see this program end, because obviously that was the blow-off. But these two have a great chemistry together, and you got to remember Ron Killings, former 2-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. This man could make a brown paper bag look like a 20-year vet.
I've always been a Ron Killings fan.
Say what?
I've always been a Ron Killings fan.
Like I said, I liked him in TNA. I liked him as K-Quick, and I still like him as R-Truth. I think the nickname may be played. The image isn't for the most part, but they could go for a little bit of a revamp on what they do with him. Sheamus Randy Orton was okay at best. I'm still not sold on Sheamus since the comeback. New Day versus Primetime Players. Primetime Players took that match and ran with it. Now, Kofi Kingston, to me, is still the MVP of the WWE. That man just still does not get the credit that he deserves. Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, obvious Bray Wyatt carried that match. Roman's getting better, but he's not where he needs to be right now. Bray Wyatt, however, I don't care if he never wins another championship or never wins a championship. This man will be a first ballot Hall of Famer in my book. Then from that vantage point, Kevin Owens, John Cena, that match was, even though there were a couple of telegraphs in there and one really kind of cute botch and a couple of mess ups, thinking to John Cena and that springboard stunner, which I think he's 0 for the century on that move. But other than that, the match was good. And I've got to sit back and say this. If you've watched all 3 matches between John Cena and Kevin Owens, I said this on Sunday, I'll say it again now. if you can watch those matches and tell me that they are not match of the year candidates, I want to know what your definition of one is. Because this match, this series of matches, has forced, not pushed, not prodded, not poked, not encouraged, not motivated. This has absolutely thrust John Cena into a brand new stratosphere as far as what he does in the ring. It's given him what he has needed to expand what he already has and what he used to do. This has been these three matches have been the best John Cena's looked in 5 years. I don't care who it's been against. He looked good against Wyatt the first time around. But John Cena and Kevin Owens put together classics over this 3-match series, for which I am thoroughly impressed and thoroughly thankful. You can't knock Cena in those matches, and you damn sure have to praise Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but Owens was on the independent scene forever.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, it's like working an independent match, and that's what's great. That's what's so great about NXT. I keep saying that, the fact that you have guys that come in that when there appears to be a quote-unquote botch, they're able to react so quickly because they're used to doing it. They're used to being like, okay, and you know how Ring of Honor fans are. They'll eat you alive. You botch, they're going to let you know.
No, the old ECW fans would let you know faster than that.
Of course, but, You effed up. But we're about to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to be joined by one of the greatest referees to exist in the last 17 years. Okay, 7 years.
Yes.
Okay, 7 months. 7 days. 7 days. One of our greatest guests of all time, Jeff McGowan, right here at the Two Minute Trevor Show, live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Wednesday night.
There is no mulligan on that one, kids. Okay, take two. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Live radio.
You had all week to sit there and think of a lead-in for the segment. That's the only crap you could come up with.
He got choked, Eddie.
Yeah, I almost died.
I know.
Did you determine show live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com. Our
Thank you. I just spit pizza.
Our guest this evening, the wrestling.
The one who has not been trying the Rainbow Coalition of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
This is why you never do the show live with Brian DeFord.
Hey, you bunch of assholes. Get it together. Get it together.
A man that the business is literally in his DNA. A referee that has done so much in such a limited amount of time. The last time we spoke to him, he was actually rehabbing an injury that he suffered in Pell City, Alabama. We're going to talk to him about the journey back, and of course a few road stories and a little bit more. The one and only Jeff McGowan. Jeff, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, of course, as always. Sorry about laughing our asses off. That's how it happens sometimes, as you very well know.
Yes. Yes.
As I said when we last left you, you were rehabbing. You have since come back
Thank
from
the
the
Lord.
knee injury. I know, thank God.
Thank
How hard was the journey back from the initial injury?
You said how long?
No, how was it? How hard was it?
It was tough. Having to go through the fact of learning how to bend your knee all over again and make sure that you protect it at every chance you can. It was tough, but it was an experience. One that even through all the trouble that came with it, I wouldn't, that's not something I want to do over. But I couldn't. I don't regret it either. It's made me a lot more humble. I know that for sure. It was, let's see, injury happened February 22nd, Pell City. Just normal moves in the ring. Just went to separate guys in the corner and felt it pop, and that was kind of it. Didn't really think anything of it. Got down out of the ring at the end of the match, and it buckled on me, and kind of thought I could get up and walk, and I couldn't, and had to have help to the back, and got to the back, and had somebody look at it, and they said, it's just a sprain. You'll be all right. Drove home to Atlanta after that, and, with that being my driving leg, which was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Got back here, had another doctor tell me it was a sprain. Had to wait almost a month to get an MRI and the results back from the MRI until finally they told me that it was torn ACL. They didn't even go into the fact that the meniscus was torn and I had other damage inside the knee. So I told them, I said, well, I'm going to go get a second opinion, which they weren't too happy about, but oh well. And I went to Andrew's clinic in Birmingham where they told me it was torn ACL, torn meniscus, severely sprained PCL, and I said, well, sign me up for surgery. Let's go ahead and get it out the way. They said, how's next week? I said, sounds good to me. The earlier the better. So I had surgery at the beginning of April, and was through with rehab probably about, I'd say, September, and was looking at making an October return, and some things went down on my job and all that, and I wasn't completely comfortable on the walking around just yet and running, and so I went ahead and pushed it. I pushed it to the beginning of the year, and then was in the process of moving and all that, and so I couldn't stay up with going back to the gym and all that, so I just went ahead and pushed it back till I got settled and all that, which happened to be I believe May is when I made my return. So yeah, because it's been 2 months now. So finally got settled with everything and got back to where I can get in the gym and all that. Knee feels really good. Didn't have any problems with it. I was really worried the first night I got back. I was really afraid that any way I moved, something was going to happen. Even though I had it braced up and a big old knee pad on it and all that, I was really worried. But luckily I didn't have any kind of tweak or anything like that with it. Never felt it. And same thing with the last time I was in the ring. So hopefully everything stays good with it, because I can't afford another $30,000 surgery.
What was the hardest part about the rehab itself?
The rehab itself wasn't a very hard process. The hardest part for me was not being in the ring. And having done this for let's see, 8 or 9 years now. You know, for those 8 or 9 years, being on the road every weekend, and then all of a sudden you go, you know, 6 to 8 months with a recovery process, and you can't do that. You know, that to me was the hardest part. The rehab sucked, you know, because you're having to rebend and all that, and your leg's telling you can't do it, but you know, of course you're having to push through it and all that. But the just not being able to do what I'd been accustomed to every weekend for the last 8 to 9 years, that was the biggest thing for me.
In the time you were away, were you able to? I know you did a lot of things outside of wrestling during that time. Were you able to keep an eye on the independent scene or WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA?
To be honest, I did probably the first month, and then I kind of got disgusted, and you know, it was kind of that whole almost a pity party. You know, why me? And I turned it off, and it was a good. You know, I would say it was about 2 weeks that I had my own little pity party, and then after that I was, you know, well, you know, there's nothing you can do, so you just got to push back through it and all that. I didn't actually turn any product on until probably, let's see, it was probably October when I turned it back on. So I'm only up to date since October, and really now I still try to, I'll catch it maybe once a month, but outside of that, you know, I don't really focus on it, on the TV product.
What about the independent scene?
Independent scene, a little bit. I know a little of what's going, you know, stuff that's going on, and a little bit in Florida, a little bit in Alabama, a little bit in Georgia, but I try to stay to the South. I haven't really looked, you know, too much to the rest of the U.S. or even Japan at that.
Eddie?
Taking it away from pro wrestling for a hot second, Jeff is also, as we've talked about before, quite the MMA aficionado. And we are both very opinionated, and this is a discussion that we had pre-UFC 189. Coming out of that live event, you and I share the same opinion that the entire Mendez-McGregor fight was nothing more than a good at best lead-in for a revamp of McGregor-Aldo.
Yes. And the only thing bad about it was that fight was the McGregor-Mendez fight was a worse. It was worse than the Kimbo Ken Shamrock fight. It was garbage. That's about the only thing I can say about it. It was flat garbage.
At first, I thought you were going to say Kimbo and Seth Petrozelli. Yeah, that showed MMA was a work, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
But
that was not their brightest moment.
No, sorry, CBS Sports, calling it like we see it. Now, the way that you've watched and the way that you're passionate about mixed martial arts, which way do you genuinely see, especially the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which right now is the granddaddy? It's the big daddy. Which way do you genuinely see them going? Because you and I have talked about their penchant for oversaturation, for rushing different people into the octagon when they needed to have a little bit more time away from it before they got into it. How do you see UFC progressing at this point in time with UFC 190 on the horizon?
Really, with the way this Reebok deal is going, UFC's they're tearing themselves apart. I don't know if you know, Eddie, they just fired Stitch, the cut man.
Really?
Yeah, UFC just fired Stitch Tuesday due to the fact that he spoke out about the Reebok deal and how he had to drop his sponsors because, you know, Tap Out was his big sponsor, and with UFC only using Reebok for the week leading up to the fight, and nobody can have any other, and then fight night, nobody can have any other sponsors. You know, it cut his financial earnings, you know, big time.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Reebok's not going to endorse him. so he's not going to get his pay from Reebok. So he spoke out about it, and they fired him the next day. So, I mean, with the way they're just, people have opinions, and you should be able to speak your opinions regardless of, you know, any kind of backlash. And the UFC doesn't see that's the case, and if they keep that up, they're not going to be the top of the ladder for very long, because Bellator's catching them. I mean, it's a slow catch, but Bellator's catching them. WSOF, or World Series of Fighting, they're catching them.
Yeah, didn't I get you started on them?
You know, they put on some really good fights. I've caught a couple good fights from them that kind of blow some of the UFC fights away.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think with the build up for Rousey Correa and 190 will sell the card. I haven't caught any of the other fights on the card as to who else is, you know, who rounds up the card. But
Ruin Nogueira's going to be on this one.
Yeah, that's going to be garbage.
Actually, I think Shogun's still got a lot left in the tank. Antonio, not sure about.
That's great. That's going to be garbage.
Yeah, it'll be garbage. I mean, and you know, the Rousey fight, the only thing appealing about the Rousey-Correa fight is the fact that Correa's beat the other three of the 4 horsewomen. So, you know, and you've got an undefeated challenger against an undefeated champion. That's the only build-up you got. But, I mean, looking at it, Correa's a brawler, Rousey's, you know, a grappler, and, you know, Rousey's last 2 or 3 fights haven't made it. Well, they haven't made it out of the first round, but they haven't made it but maybe a minute into the first round. So,
right.
You know, I see an armbar. First round armbar.
Your predictions, folks.
Nobody can stop the armbar. Nobody. And you know, they're talking about now that Cyborg is going to be in the building at 190 and this and that to the build up, and you know, that's a fight. Me as a fight fan, I want to see.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, I think if Rousey loses to Cyborg, she's done. If she beats Cyborg, she's done. She's ready to get out. So, you know, either way, what Rousey are you going to see? And more than likely, you're going to see an armbar. So, you know, you can kind of predict what's going to happen already. I just don't think anybody's got the grappling ability to go toe to toe with Rousey and not slip out of the armbar. Miesha Tate was the one who slipped out. She slipped out once, but she got her arm broke on the second one.
Yep.
So
that elbow popped faster than a tin of Jiffy Pop popcorn.
It sure did.
That's garbage.
Yep.
I want a sound clip of Jeff McGowan saying, "No, that's garbage."
Yeah.
I want that play. Whatever.
You want to what?
He's asking me to pull a soundbite that we can use later.
What soundbite you want?
The one that of you saying, "Oh, that's garbage."
Oh, that's garbage.
There you go. 105.40.
Well, Jeff, before we let you go, we have to ask you. GCW has a huge event coming up. Your thoughts on Red, White, and Bruise this Saturday in Pell City, Alabama?
It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's. I mean, you got Mad Dog, you got AJ Steele, you got Spiral, you've got Micah Taylor, you've got the Sevenfold Saints. Chiazzo and Says All in one building? Hell, let's blow the roof off of Pell City.
Tell us your favorite road story since you've come back so far.
Favorite road story since I've come back?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You can edit the names if possible, if you need be.
I'm gonna have to give you a pre-injury road story, because all my road stories now, since I've come back, have been the fact that I've had to go to work after the show. So
Understandable.
You know, that's nothing good comes from having to get out of the ring and go straight to the the other job. So I'm gonna give you a pre-injury road story. Myself, Steve Styles, and Clyde Braddock are riding from Georgia to Pell City, and we're in a car, just kind of cruising down 20, and I look in the rear view, and Clyde's got a lucha mask on, and he's got the window down, and he's just kind of his head out the window, and I believe we had Thrift Shop from by Macklemore playing on the radio, and Clyde's just out the window, just head bobbing and you know, singing the lyrics. And then Styles turns around, looks at him, and goes, "Quick, hand me the other one." So Styles puts one on, and he's got his head out the window. And me not wanting to feel like I'm the outsider of the car, I found an Obama mask.
Oh, shit.
So I had to put an Obama mask on, and we're just riding down the road. I'm in an Obama mask, they're in a lucha mask. Just
you didn't have a Charles Manson mask? I mean, come on.
No, they were all sold out of that one.
Son of a bitch.
They were all sold out of that at Party City. That was my first option. But, you know, I saw the Obama mask and went, well, go for the Obama.
That is awesome.
But, you know, just any road trip with Steve Styles and Clyde Braddock is a hilarious bit in itself. You know, especially 3.5 hours in a car from Georgia to Pell City, or even when we were doing Palmerdale. You never know what's going to come up with those guys, and especially later in the evening when it gets, you know, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and everybody's tired and you know, not really knowing what's coming next that people are going to say. So, you know, I think out of everybody I've ridden with, those two are my favorite. Just because, you know, they're crazy. You know that, Wicked. You know how crazy they are.
Oh, I know.
You know, so you get all kinds of crazy stories, and then on top of that, you know, they laugh hysterically, and, you know, once you get them laughing, the whole car's laughing. So, you know, that's, you know, they're crazy. That's about all I can say. They're crazy.
What is one piece of memorabilia that your dad has that you still to this day are kind of like, I don't want to say enamored, but you think very fondly of?
He's got the old NWA Macon tag team belts. Well, one of the tag team belts, and then he's got the old junior Georgia light heavyweight championship.
Nice.
Those are big pieces of memorabilia. And then we later, having gotten my start in Columbus, Georgia, and Dad was going down there working with Jerry Oates, whom he'd worked with numerous times, you know, during Jerry's career and you know, Dad's early career. We came across in a dumpster, we came across the old Columbus heavyweight title that was introduced in 73, I think, is when we traced it back. And the earliest picture, or the earliest picture we found of it, it was being worn by Buddy Colt. That was, I think that's a big one too. I think that one means more to me just because of the fact that, Columbus is where I started, and that's kind of, it's something to look at and go, man, some of the greats in the business have held this, and this is where I first stepped in at. That's a big one for me.
Jeff, how can everyone get in touch with you, sir?
You can find me on Facebook at Jeff McGowan _ref, or on Twitter, same thing, Jeff McGowan _ref.
Jeff, thank you for coming on this evening. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Tell your parents I said hello.
I will. And before I came up here, Scrapster wanted me to say hey and to watch out for his big boot.
Oh, God.
Yes, he said to watch out for the big boot. He's coming for you, brother.
Brother.
Great.
You have a great night, sir, and we miss you, and so glad to have you back, sir. Jeff McGowan.
Glad to be back. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Good night, Jeff.
Good night.
We'll take our next break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Ring of Honor, which I kind of trailed off on. I believe Kevin Smith calls that a pothole. Right here, the To Be Determined Show Live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
You forgot the app again.
Beyond Ringside app.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for Wrestle Rage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at Wrestle Rage.
The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
This Saturday, Pell City, Alabama. Eddie, what are your thoughts going into this Saturday as we draw so near? Red, white, and bruised.
Red, white, and bruised. Normally promises to be a great night of professional wrestling action. I know that one of the main events that is going to be taking place this coming Saturday is a triple threat match for the middleweight championship. Spiral, O'Hagan, Cruz. 3 very gifted and talented wrestlers. I will put this matchup pre-match. I don't know what's going to happen Saturday night. I really don't. I don't even know the rest of the damn card. And I'm the one who runs the website and the social media. So y'all have got the card. You're one up on me there. But I will sit back and say this pre-show. This will probably be in your top 5 don't blink matches. Period. Because you put all 3 of these in the same ring and give them the freedom to be themselves. They're going to cut loose. I don't know who's going to end up with the belt, but I know the winners will be the fans in Pell City Saturday night.
Well, we also know Francisco against Clyde Braddock. Your thoughts on that match?
That's going to be, I'm going to steal the Jim Rossism. That's going to be a slobber knocker. Now, for those who think Clyde Braddock is one-dimensional power game, you are oh so wrong. You have to remember, Braddock has a very extensive amateur wrestling background. Highly decorated amateur. Francisco Chiazzo has earned the title of one of the most pure veterans in the world of pro wrestling. These two get together in that ring. I'm going to be honest with you. It could go either way. I know that's not what you want me to say, but that's what I'm saying because that's what I feel to be the truth.
It's going to be one of those matches that, excuse me, Clyde definitely has his work cut out for him. If he can make Francisco even for a second break his game plan, Francisco might show a kink in the armor for Clyde to get the 1, 2, 3. But Clyde knows this. This is Jack and the Beanstalk all over again. This is a seasoned veteran against a great mat wrestler.
These men have faced one another before, so they kind of know one another's weaknesses. So it'll be an interesting matchup.
What do you think about Mike Cruz, O'Hagan, and Sparrow?
Once again, all three of those guys are super talented. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to watch. And it's, again, a toss-up as to who the winner will be.
So it's going to be one of those things that if you miss it, if you blink for a second, you're going to say, what I missed? What I missed? And then
Peanut, don't freaking get in my way, dude.
So you have to wait on the YouTube video to come up then. So you don't want to wait for that.
No.
So pay attention. You might just learn something. Eddie, what does the Beyond Ringside Radio Network have upcoming, sir?
Actually, before that, you said you wanted to tackle a little bit more of the Ring of Honor thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
We are getting back slowly but surely into full steam. I had a great conversation with Robert Cosper earlier today, actually, as a matter of fact. And Cos is working to get things put back into play for Cause and Effect to make a return. Now, they're going to be doing things in a slightly different way upon the return. He has confirmed that he and Stewart are going to be going back full tilt on it. And they're actually going to be going more of a wrestling and entertainment style format for their talk show. So what the future holds, I'm looking forward to it. We're back in full tilt all the way across the board. Ted Guinness has taken a hiatus because of his work schedule for Thursday nights. Working right now for the Trifecta back in play this coming Sunday night, which is going to be July the 26th. And, of course, that's Beyond Ringside Live this coming Sunday on the 26th at 5:30 p.m. Central. Sorry about that, 5:30. Wrestle Rage Radio is back at its regular time slot. And the Midnight Black Mass with Reverend Dan Wilson and Andrew Alexander are back into the regular time slot as well. For those who missed this past Sunday, we had a cross-up in communication between myself and Reverend Dan to where we missed episode, I think it was episode 7. And he sent episode 7 and 8 at the same time. So I've been running those back to back over the previous few days, which I'm going to continue to do that in BR Late Night. So we're getting everything put back in place all the way across the board. And of course, Back to Basics will be returning this coming Tuesday night, the 28th. I'm going to be honest. I had a lot on me last night. That's why I was not able to do the show last evening. Migraine headache didn't help matters any, and. You know me, when I start getting a migraine, I'm just going to go find myself a nice cold bath, a nice cold compress, and go hide under my bed. So be sure to keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com. Of course, the home for all things BR. I'm going to try to start factoring it a little bit more on the Twitter side as well as Facebook fan page. And for those who have been actually clicking over on our YouTube site for the video versions, thank you. And of course, don't forget, Beyond Ringside branded products are available all the way across the board. iTunes, Podomatic, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. And thank you to everybody who has been downloading through Google Play. Yes, we are back on Google Play, and I'm damn happy about that. Thank you to Server Room and everybody there. And I want to go ahead and let this one out before I turn it back to Wick real quick. You hear different, and this is one of the things that we're very careful of, and this is me talking. not as the host of BR, not as the co-host of TBD, but this is the person. I'm the owner of Beyond Ringside Enterprises, Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. You'll notice there are a lot of people out there who have streaming apps and things of that ilk, and online radio stations who run traditional commercial music. We don't. Everything that you hear played on this station through the app, through the website, whatever, is royalty free. Anything that is played commercial on this station is played with permission. So in previous days, I might have just, it would have gone out that I might have played something by Fall Out Boy or Sammy Hagar or Kiss. And I'm always very meticulous about what I play and when I play it, like for a setup. Those are gone. That's not going to happen anymore. So everything that we play here on this station through the app is royalty free, and I can provide proof of that. A lot of the stuff you hear is produced by Matthew Huffaker. You can find his material at Technoaxe, TEKNOAXE.com. Tell him we sent you. Matthew, I appreciate all the music. I appreciate all the hard work you put into your music, and thank you for letting us run it here on Beyond Ringside Radio.
Yes, thank you so much. We use the heck out of that. We kid around about YouTube and about Germany and about the United States and copyright. But, you know, pirated music and pirated movies, that takes money out of the industry. And it is a crime, so don't do that. For those of you that do it, do not. So, if you do run, you do run.
And I will say we have actually had people to hit us up and ask that their new music be played on Beyond Ringside as well. So, you know, that's a testament to your station, Eddie.
Thank you. Yeah, if there are any other...
Oh, God, and of course, there you go. That is, once again, I'm sure we can get flagged for that. That is...
No, it's not enough. They won't footprint it. Now, I will go ahead and say this, and for everybody listening right now on live and everybody listening through the recorded side, through the BeyondCast podcast, and Wick, thank you again for coming up with the term BeyondCast. Greatly appreciated. I've been using it, and give you the credit for it. Huh?
Yes, sir.
I said, yay.
Oh, I thought you said, and Angie. I'm about to go, okay, I give you both credit on it. And
no, I said, yay. No, that's all him, of course.
For everyone out there now, and this is here's the pigeonhole for this. When Beyond Ringside first started, we were called Birmingham's Rock and Wrestling Radio Show. If you are part of an aspiring rock band, and I'll go ahead and say country as well, that would like to have a new avenue to a very rabid and fun fan base, listenership here for the station and the app and everything else, get in touch with me, beyondringside@gmail.com. If you can provide the necessary releases, the artist and performer releases, and get me a good quality copy of the song,
I will. Don't suck.
And it doesn't suck. Thank you. Yeah. I prefer no slow stuff. I'm sorry. It's my station, my rules. I prefer nothing slow. I prefer everything be radio edited and radio friendly. This is internet radio. Thanks for playing. And so, like I said, straight ahead, heavy metal, cool with me. Rock and country, good with me. Southern rock, good with me. That's basically a lot of what the fan base of this station likes. And that's the purest nature of myself on this station. So, like I said, straight ahead rock and roll, heavy metal, great. Country, great. Please, nothing slow, nothing that sucks. Just let me know. BeyondRingside@gmail.com.
Eddie, thank you so much for once again giving us an avenue to go out and
absolutely
act like idiots and be funny and give our opinion on this station. So,
yes, sir. Thank you.
Eddie, how can everyone get in touch with you, sir?
Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com. The easy way to find me. BeyondRingside.com for the station.
Angie, how can everyone get in touch with you?
On Twitter, Angie_Nemesis. On Instagram, GingerGoddess1.
At Wicked Nemesis for Twitter, The Merchants of Death, The To Be Determined Show, The Unlucky Charms, and The Sevenfold Saints. And, of course, Beyond Ringside all have Facebook fan pages. Give us a like and share. Every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, BeyondRingside.com, the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. And don't forget, once again, as Eddie said, the Beyond Ringside Radio app. Thank you to Jeff McGowan for coming on this evening. Look forward to seeing everybody in Pell City this Saturday, July 25th, for Red, White, and Bruised. For Fat City Layne.
Have a great day. Have a great rest of the night. Have a great weekend. Let's have a party.
Oh, yeah, let's have a party for real. For Angie Nemesis.
Good night, and see you all on Saturday.
I am the Orc of Ominous, the Architect of the Wicked Nemesis. Good night, good luck. As always, leave your week to be determined. Don't be a baby, be a definite. Forever forward, the sevenfold sense.